Would Life Scout Blake Ballas and Eagle Scout Bradley Stevenson please join me for the reading of the 12 points of the law, and Eagle Scout David Hart join us to light the 12 candles for each point read. In scouting, as in most activities of life, there are rules. The rules of scouting are funded on the 12 points of the Scout Law. As a candle is lit for each point of the Scout Law, let us pay careful attention to the words and rededicate ourselves to the principles contained in these words.
The Scout is trustworthy. The Scout tells the truth. He keeps his promises. Honesty is part of his code of conduct.
A Scout is loyal. A Scout is true to his family, friends, Scout leaders, school, nation, and world community.
A Scout is helpful. A Scout is concerned about other people. He willingly volunteers to help others without expecting payment or reward.
A Scout is friendly. A Scout is a friend to all. He is a brother to other Scouts. He seeks to understand others. He respects those with ideas and customs that are different from his own.
A Scout is courteous. The Scout is polite to everyone regardless of age or position. He knows that good manners make it easier for people to get along.
A Scout is kind. A Scout understands there is strength in being gentle. He treats others as he wants to be treated. He does not harm or kill anything without reason.
A Scout is obedient. A Scout follows the rules of his family, school, and church. He obeys the laws of his community and country. If he thinks these rules and laws are unfair, he tries to have them changed in an orderly manner rather than disobey them.
A Scout is cheerful. A Scout looks for the bright side of his life. A Scout looks for the bright side of his life. He cheerfully does tasks that come to his way. He tries to make others happy.
A Scout is thrifty. A Scout works to pay his way and help others. He saves for the future. He protects and conserves natural resources. He carefully uses his time and property.
A Scout is brave. A Scout can face danger even if he is afraid. He has the courage to stand for what he thinks is right, even if others laugh at him or threaten him.
A Scout is clean. A Scout keeps his body and mind fit and clean. He goes around with those who believe in living by the same ideals. He helps keep his home and community clean.
A Scout is reverent. A Scout is reverent towards God. He is faithful to his religious duties. He respects the beliefs of others.
Thank you, Blake, Bradley, and David. You may now be seated. At this time, would Eagle Scout Brian Buffington come forward for the Legend of Eagle Mountain?
Early one morning, a young boy stood at a trailhead. Before him rose a mighty mountain, which seemed all the mightier when compared with his smallness. A trail led to the mountain, then up at incredible heights before vanishing into the clouds. On this trail, the boy could see other boys and young men, some of whom turned and beckoned him to follow. The boy began to climb, refusing perhaps to believe that he could ever reach the top. At first, the trail rose gently, and the boy had many companions, but soon he began to sweat and breathe heavily, and many of his companions turned away, but still the boy climbed. At times he climbed quickly, at times he climbed slowly, at times he had to go down a little way to find another path, or stop a while to catch his breath. But still he climbed. The trails became steeper, the air thinner. But the climber scarcely noticed, for he had, along the way, become stronger of body and hardier of spirit. Finally, in the cool peace of evening time, he stood alone at the top of the world and looked around him. To the left, he saw a fiery golden sunset. To the right, he saw a diamond-studded, silky black night sky. Behind him, he saw the trail that he had followed and the hikers who were following in his footsteps. In front of him, he saw another mountain, and another, and another. A whole procession of mountains marching off to the horizon. But the young man, for now he was a man, knew that none of these other mountains was insurmountable, that all could and would be climbed, for he had learned many skills in the climbing of the first mountain. and he would carry those skills with him long after this mountain was forgotten. Besides, he could begin climbing the next mountain tomorrow. Tonight, he would rest and celebrate and ponder the journey that he had completed. So tonight we pause to rest and celebrate the honor of this fine young man, Eagle Scout Daniel Schenker, as he stands at the top of the world and looks around.
Thank you, Brian. At this time, would Eagle candidate father and former Assistant Scoutmaster of Troop 159, Greg Schenker, please come forward to tell us a little bit about Daniel's Eagle project.
Thanks, Mr. Daniel's Service Project was a project performed for the Borough of Folsom and their Parks and Recs Committee. It was no surprise when Daniel chose this project that he would do something in his own hometown, since our family is very community-oriented and service-oriented. When he first brought the idea up, he had met with City Council to ask for their approval. He met with the Planning Board to ask some questions on permitting and things like that, seeking their approval and acceptance of his project, and also asking for help with the permitting if necessary. He also then met with the Parks and Recs Committee at their monthly meeting, and at that meeting they chose to move on to a meeting at the site where he was going to perform his project, which was at 13th Street and Mays Landing Road at the baseball park, basketball park, playground area located there. They met out there, and originally the project was to rehab an existing basketball court. Daniel had mentioned to him in the prior meeting that this court had some safety issues because it was built many, many years ago, before safety was a major concern of people because of the existing way things are in the world. So they met and they talked about it, and there was an existing tennis court adjacent to this basketball court, which was a little smaller. And they suggested that maybe instead of rehabbing what was there already, actually moving the basketball court to an adjacent location, which created the project to become just a little bit larger than what he had originally anticipated. But he took that challenge on. He met it. What we ended up doing was removing the basketball court, the backboards from the existing court, moving them over, putting new posts up, reusing the backboards, and then cleaning up the area, removing any debris, vegetation that was growing outside the fenced-in area. Also in the fenced-in area, the asphalt had been deteriorated over years. He had cleaned the weeds from the cracks that were growing through, treated with weed killer, and the company came out, resealed, relined it, and put a basketball court lining on the area. It was about 180 man-hours total. That included Daniel's planning, designing of what was going to go on. He had to bring this all to an Eagle board who had to approve this, and if they didn't like what he had, he'd have to make adjustments. Fortunately, on his first attempt, he got his approval for his project, and he has successfully completed it. And the borough is very thankful. And I know I saw some boys playing there one day, and I came home, and later on I saw the one boy's father. He said, "Boy," he said, "they really like playing basketball in that court." And I said, "Well, why? Why do they like it so much better than other places?" He says, "Well, when they lose the ball, because they're inside the fence now, they don't have to go chasing the ball down the hill anymore." So it was great to see somebody out there using it immediately after the project was over, and to get such positive feedback. So it was a great project, and of course I'm very proud of him. His mother's proud of him, and as the whole borough. Thank you.